Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven, aka Storm, and we are back for some more of the Elder Scrolls Online as Reewish the Mighty Battle Lizard here on the ever beautiful High Isle chapter. Look at that sun, look at that sky, look at this weird thing on my chest. I'm looking so fly. Anyways, we are going to pick up with this quest over here in just a moment and experiment with peace. But first of all, we're going to go and turn in the lighthouse idol, which I forgot to do last week. So we're going to try to make as much progress on High Isle as possible in the 3 hours allotted to us. I apologize if my voice sounds a little bit shoddy. I just got back from camp on Friday, and my voice was just completely gone the last 2 days. But it feels like it's back. Also, I need to send out notifications that we're live. Let me do that real quick before I forget to do so. Because I actually haven't done that in a while. Oh, I probably should take care of some other minor business while I'm at it. Well, I say minor, but it's not really all that minor. So, first item of business, I just want to remind everyone that I have a Discord channel. And you can actually join my Discord channel, and I put news there and things of that nature. So, in fact, I actually have a bot that will announce when I'm live, so people can see that I am live. Let me find my streaming channel. Here we go. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to post a invite to the Discord in case anyone wants to join the Discord. I'll do that real quick. The other thing is that I am writing a book, and my novel is being posted up on the Royal Road site. It is a fantasy novel, and if you're interested in checking it out, you can check it out on Royal Road. You can like, follow, review, comment, all kinds of stuff to keep to let me know how you're liking the story, or if you have any recommendations or like criticisms. Absolutely anything is fine. I'm trying to get the book as polished as possible before I send it off for editing, and then I'm going to try to get it published. So I'm hoping that it will be in good shape when I do go to publish. There are currently 5 chapters up on the website, and chapter 6 will be going up this coming Wednesday, so in 3 days. Chapter 6 will be going up on the website. And then I'll continue with my weekly schedule unless something happens and I decide to up the progress or something like that. So
You return, and with the idol. Place it here, and I shall call forth its light. Place the idol here.
No, I'm trying to place the idol. There we go.
Mother Kinnereth, this traveler has set right the desecration of this holy place. Return to us your blessing, and let your light shine over the land and sea. I cannot thank you enough. With the idol returned and the light restored, we can ensure the safe passage of many a weary traveler. Is there any way a priest of humble means could repay you? A blessing, perhaps?
3 ships never arrived at Gonfalon Bay. Did you see anything from up here?
Shortly after the lighthouse was pillaged, I spied 3 ships on the horizon. Then suddenly, the clouds darkened, and a terrible storm began to blow in. I lost sight of the ships after that. Perhaps they were simply blown off course?
Is that sort of weather common here?
Aminos is notorious for its storms, but Kinnereth generally blesses High Isle with fair weather. I wonder, the way the storm swept in seemed unnatural, and it happened so soon after Kinnereth's idol was removed.
Do you think that's why the knights attacked the lighthouse?
The idol has little value outside the lighthouse. Its light does not shine in any other location. My order believes Kinnereth's light blesses High Isle. Why steal the idol unless the knights meant to revoke her protection? A troubling thought indeed.
That is very troubling, yes. Alright. So the next objective is to check out the shallows, but first we're going to go and do an experiment with peace. Oh, hey, it's a...
This is not the end of our tale.
Let's see. Alright, Belky, I'll give you your shot. I need you to search around Steadfast Manor. I need you to search around Steadfast Manor for a piece of map belonging to a friend of a friend who is last seen around there. It's not far from Gonflin Bay, but I've heard there are some dangerous characters who like to hide out around the crags to try not to get robbed. When you have the fragments, bring it to me at Duford Docks. Okay. Poor Belky. Got his shot doing the job and got killed anyways.
We're in this together.
You there! Can we speak for a moment? You look healthy. Walking about on your own. No shadows in your eyes. You're better off than most of the patients here, which means you're just who I need. Our patients have fallen prey to a strange malady. We could use some help.
I'm aware. Sister Sienna sent me to help.
Ah, good. Then I can skip trying to convince you. But I promise to pay fairly should we succeed. I need to track down this affliction's source. Only patients at the manor seem affected. So I assume the cause must be nearby.
Have you made any progress so far?
Sadly, very little. The menders stay busy tending to the afflicted, and the patients don't quite trust me enough to talk freely. So I need you. If you track down the cause of this malady, perhaps the menders can do something about it.
I'll track down the cause of this affliction.
I'd suggest you talk to some patients who are feeling its effects. Try Arabil Vools by the fountain. Or Malagi. He likes to watch the sea. Oh, and speak with Mender Talil, too. She's inside. I'll be waiting upstairs when you're done.
Can you tell me about this malady?
I can give a first-hand report. The first symptom is the nightmares. I'm familiar with dreams of war, but these were somehow more horrible. I remember eyes around me, peering from darkness, and screaming. Constant screaming.
What happens after that?
Other patients have fevers and fits of shaking. Some become confused, believing themselves back on the battlefield. I had to subdue a dark elf who turned on a mender. Seeing the others like that, I hope that's not where I'm headed.
You don't have those symptoms yet?
Fortunately, no. I'm lucky, though I dread the day when it comes for me. The malady doesn't seem to strike the same way twice. That's one of the factors that has confused the healers here.
How did you come to be a patient here?
Like the others, I fought for my king, until I caught a spear in the gut. I laid in the mud for hours, before an orc shaman found me. She dragged me back to camp. I ended up in a Breton infirmary. That's when I got the offer.
What kind of offer?
A representative of the society came to my bedside. Told me about a noble plan to foster peace in Tamria. She described how I'd recover alongside my enemies. I thought it sounded overly optimistic. But who turns down a stay by the ocean?
So you don't believe in Lord Bakara's vision?
Oh, I dream of peace, friend. I've seen too many friends killed, and too much blood spilled to wish otherwise. But I also know that the powerful crave more power, and they don't seem to do much of the fighting or bleeding for it.
Tell me more about the hospice here at Steadfast Manor.
The manor belongs to Lord Bacaro Valoris. He formed the Society of the Steadfast to work for an end to the Three Banners War. The Society brings wounded soldiers from all sides here to recover. They hope we'll find common ground with our enemies.
What do you do here?
I guess I'm the guard. Usually the patients mind their manners, or they're in too much pain to cause trouble. But we're all soldiers. When fights break out, I settle them, which means the other patients don't really open up to me.
The other patients don't trust you?
I fought for the Daggerfall Covenant. Even before the war, I marched under its banner. Now here I am, guarding this hospice as an unknown malady torments the minds of their fellows. I guess their suspicions are only natural.
All right.
I was told they weren't taking new patients, not until they figured out what's going on. Still, welcome to Steadfast Manor. I'd offer a tour, but I don't quite feel up to it. Haven't slept in days. I can barely stand up straight.
I'm investigating the patient's affliction. Can you tell me more about it?
Affliction? A good word for it. I can feel it wearing away at my mind. After days without sleep, my thoughts are cloudy. I'm a shell of myself. Minda Roslyn's tonics help some. She knows what she's doing. Unlike some here.
Who are you referring to?
Master Healer Verlaine only manages the symptoms. He sedates us or just offers comforting words, but he won't seek out the root cause. Roslyn studied this affliction. She believes it's a curse of the humors, but she needs more research.
What brought you to Steadfast Manor?
I thought I was never going to walk again. A wood elf snapped the bones in both my legs. How the little fellow managed it still baffles me. And again, I can't recall much of the battle where it happened. Flashes of memory and no more.
What happened after your legs were broken?
I was carried to the healers, but they had to save their magic for the mortally wounded. So I got wooden braces and some bark to chew on that dulled the pain. My bones healed all wrong, made walking constant agony.
Did they help you here?
Somewhat. Master Healer Verlaine was frank about how I'd suffer more before I healed. They had to re-break each bone and slowly knit them back together. But the pain lessens each day. I can shuffle around now. For that, I'm grateful.
What do you think about the goal of Steadfast Manor?
I was a true believer from the moment I heard of it. I felt no hatred for my enemies. I only fought as I was ordered to. I like the idea of learning about other peoples. I admit, I was delighted when I first arrived.
Yeah, the common people are sick of the Three Banners War, which, can you really blame them? What do you think now?
Now, my mind is slipping. Something is spreading among the patients. It makes us lose ourselves. I have to think it's a deliberate attack. One of the other alliances is doing this to me. Perhaps coming here was a mistake.
Tell me about Minda Roslin.
We're not close, but I respect her intellect. With her knowledge of alchemy, she could do anything. She chooses to comfort and heal people. Aiding the weak isn't a choice I would make. But now that I'm in need, I see the virtue of it.
Okay. Dang it.
Such a calming vista, yes. The sound of waves lapping at the shore always used to bring Milagi peace. But now, Milagi feels like he may jump out of his fur. Fear ripples through Milagi, as if he faces battle again.
Is your fear an effect of the affliction spreading among the the Manor's patients?
This one believes so. Milagi was beginning to feel strong. He planned to return to his family in Riemann. Then, at dinner one evening, Milagi could not catch his breath. His heart pounded, his vision darkened. Only Mender Roslin could calm him.
How did she calm you?
Mender Roslin is a master of alchemical remedies. She mixed a powder into Milagi's tea that calmed the storm. Yesterday, Roslin told this one she might have a cure for his sickness. A new potion that looked promising. But she has disappeared.
Okay. Now we gotta talk to another Mender.
I'm sorry, but I can't talk any longer. I do wish to help any way I can, but the patients need me, especially in Roslin's absence. Good luck in your search for the affliction's cause, and alert me if you start feeling strange.
Armin asked me to look into the curse of the affliction, or cause the affliction.
Interesting. Well, he's a good man. If he thinks you can help, then you can stay. But if you start hearing voices or seeing strange things, tell me straight away. A shame that Mender Roslin's not here to speak with you. We truly need her.
Do you know where Mender Roslin went?
I'm afraid not, and that worries me. You see, Roslin isn't one to abandon her duties, and some patients have vanished as well. Just gone from their beds when we check on them. I shouldn't talk about this. People are upset already.
But we might find something in there we can use.
Oh, she must have taken ill
Oh, it's
after
Rigert.
dinner
Hi,
last
Rigert.
night. Is that a note by the bed?
Patient, female high elf, age unknown. Tellian, an Aldmeri Dominion diplomat. Condition, intoxicated. Incidental poisoning. It seems the Finnish foolish woman was encouraged to drink a great deal of rot meth last night, despite never having tried it before. She will likely be miserably ill for several days. If her condition worsens, crush a mammoth ear leaf and dab a few drops of the juice on her lips. I saw several plants on the grounds, but I'm told that they are not to be cut without Lord Baccaro's permission. The juice is a purgative, and will bring up the rot meth along with everything else.
Look for a mammoth ear plant in the woods near the manor. We need to wake her up.
Maybe you heard. My talk with Master Healer Viralane was unproductive. He always sticks to procedure. No sense of urgency with that one. Well, how did you fare? Learn anything from the patients?
Let's see. Everyone mentioned Mender Rosalind. Apparently she's gone missing.
Everyone respects Mender Rosalind. She's got a rare combination of kindness and skill. And between you and me, she plays a strong game of cards. Now that I think about it, I haven't seen her in a while. Where could she be?
Mender Tilliel told me a few patients have vanished as well.
Strange that this affliction shows up at the same time people start disappearing. I don't believe in coincidences. Why didn't Viralane tell me about this? Sure, I'm not a member of the society, but still. Anything else?
Mender Rosalind had a theory about cursed humors, and she began researching a cure.
Then we need to get into the dispensary. That's where Rosalind worked. Viralane has a key, and so does Mender Aldvar. Get the dispensary key from one of them, and go take a look around. I'll keep watch while you're inside.
How do we get Master Healer Viralane's key?
Try flattery, if you're good with words. If you can impress him with some alchemy, he might trust you. Or maybe mention you're searching for Mender Rosalind. Those two are close.
What do you mean? What do you mean they're close?
Nothing untoward, I don't think. But they've worked together a long time. Rosalind told me once that Viralane personally chose her to join the Society of the Steadfast. He respects alchemists, and there are few better than Mender Rosalind.
Where can I find Mender Advar?
Well, I've never seen a lazier Mender. I bet you can find him asleep on the docks. Now, I'd never suggest you steal the key from his pack, but if it fell out and you picked it up...
You said he's Mender Rosalind's aide?
Yeah, and I have no idea why. Aldvar doesn't offer much to her. No real strength in herbalism or alchemy that I've seen. I might be too hard on him. He does get along well with all the patients. Perhaps Rosalind has a soft spot for the mediocre.
Okay, let's see. Is there another way into the dispensary?
I guess you could pick the lock, but you didn't hear me suggest that. Supposedly, I'm the security here. This affliction keeps the Menders busy, so I doubt she'll be noticed. Just don't break the door. We can't let patients take what they want.
Alright.
Good day, stranger. Did I just see you speaking with my friend Armin? He's one of our most noteworthy successors at Steadfast Manor, or so I believe. How can I help you?
I'm looking into Minder Roslin's disappearance.
Terrible shame. Roslyn was one of our best healers, incredibly talented. Her loss has really made things hard around here. But we're doing the best we can. What can I do to help?
One of the members mentioned a potion she was working on. I'd like to look around your dispensary.
I'm afraid that's out of the question. I'm sure you have good intentions, but our dispensary is full of sensitive, even dangerous materials. It's imperative nothing there be disturbed. Lives depend on it.
Persuade.
Hard to argue with that. She is a talented healer. Perhaps more than I am. Very well. If you think it may help, then take this key and have a look. Please do your utmost to keep things as they are.
Into the dispensary. Do, 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 do.
Sorry, Mender. It's closed for cleaning. Don't worry, I'll let you know when it's open again. Shouldn't be long.
Okay, let's see. How long is this? Okay. 11 days ago. Today, several patients appeared unusually tired and ill at ease. Strangely enough, they all complained about bad dreams. 7 days ago. Something is definitely not right. Nearly half the patients now suffer from fatigue and anxiety, and reports of terrifying nightmares are now commonplace. Some sort of contagious fever? Or something else. I know I have seen something like this before, but where? One Nord soldier who was suffering greatly from his mysterious affliction is now missing. I fear he may have harmed himself. Um, 5 days ago. 2 more patients are missing, but I think I know what is going on here. These soldiers are suffering from the onset of vampirism. The symptoms are mild, but the sleepiness, the lassitude? I wish Joe was here to help me pronounce that. Lassitude, and the feeling of dread and fearfulness all fit, but there are no vampires in the manor. I am certain of it. Alexis Veliane is not convinced. He believes the physical symptoms are simply lack of sleep caused by the patient's terrible experiences in the war. He recommends bed rest. So 4 days ago. I can't wait for Alexis to recognize what is going on here. I am preparing small doses of an elixir that counters the symptoms of early stage vampirism. We will see if that helps. The missing patients now number 7. 2 days ago, as I suspected, the anti-vampirism elixir provided immediate relief to those patients I treated. I do not think the condition has been cured, however. I must brew a stronger potion with fresh ingredients. I have most of what I need here on the grounds, but I need some harpy feathers for the antidote. Fortunately, colonies of harpies nest in the western hills of the manor. I'll set out at first light. So somebody...
Hey, you almost done in there? I can't keep this up forever.
Okay, let's go over the evidence real quick. So, someone is either A, biting, using the patients as their food supply. So, one of the staff could perhaps be a vampire. Or 2, someone is injecting them with vampire blood. Now, as we know from the Ebonheart Pack storyline, when we helped save Joran the Skull King, vampire blood is a powerful healing agent when used properly. However, it carries the risk of infecting the person with vampirism. So you trade off regenerating your wounds quickly for the chance of becoming a vampire. So we can't completely rule out that possibility as well. So let's go ahead and continue with our investigation.
Ah, there you are. Find anything? I can't believe that mender fell for the old closed for cleaning line. Well, did you find anything?
I found this journal.
Can I see it? This is Rosalind's, all right. An illness related to vampirism? I might not have any more book learning than you need to swing a sword, but I think I would have noticed a vampire hanging around. What's going on here?
Rosalind doesn't seem to know either, but she was researching a cure.
I can see that. And look, here's something about harpy feathers. If Rosalind went looking for harpy nests, maybe we should too. She says the nests are nearby. Shouldn't be hard to find.
I'll check out the harpy nest.
Beware of the harpies. They can be vicious. I'd go with you, but I don't dare leave the patients alone with the menders, or with each other. Not if they're fighting off some kind of vampire sickness.
That's incredibly fair. Okie dokie. We're going to... First things first, let's go grab the mammoth ear leaf. We're going to need that anyways. Wait, are the sunflowers actually facing the sun? Well, some of them aren't, but... Do the sunflowers actually face the sun? Huh, I wonder if they turn based on the time of day, or if they're always stuck at this exact angle. Well, some of them are not properly pixeled properly. I don't know, it's fine. Okay, let's get the mammoth leaf ear. Alright, now onto the harpy nest. Just look out, like, this is just an example of just absolutely how beautiful. And Harpy, why are you interrupting me? I am having a conversation. Get lost. Okay. But this is just an example of just how utterly beautiful High Isle is. Just like, this is just like randomly in the, like, this isn't like a major location. This is just like a random spot you can find on the way to, like, of a quest. It's like, you gotta admit, the Lord knows where to build a house. That's, although perhaps building a hospice so close to a harpy nest wasn't the best idea. Discarded gloves. Okay, pick them up. Search for Mender Rosalind. Death hounds! We found the vampire's lair. Okay, one death hound. One death hound isn't necessarily the lair, but I see something over there that does look a lot like a vampire lair.
Your prowess was befitting a knight. Well done.
Go get that sky shard first.
Looking forward to seeing what you make with that.
I'm not going to make anything with that. Not on this character, anyways. Could always use some more iron. A few pages torn from the journal of Minder Roslin. The harpies seem agitated. Could the manor's affliction be affecting them as well, or does their aggressiveness have another cause? Recovered suitable harpy feathers, but lost my glove somewhere around here. I hurried scribbled an additive entry. Headed back towards the manor when I sighted a strange black hound in the woods. Don't think it saw me, but I had to retreat. It surely wasn't native to this environment. Supernatural? Also spotted giant bats. Cave entrance across the stream. Maybe the hound and the bats came from there. Could it be a vampire lair? Surely she didn't go inside the lair of a vampire. Unprepared. Apparently this is considered part of Steadfast Manor. The weary soldiers of this war deserve a respite, a sanctuary where they might nurse their wounds and bury their grievances. The Society of the Steadfast can provide that at least.
You've met your match. That's the end of that tale.
It's a Blood Knight. What's a Blood Knight doing down here? Morag the Unquenchable. Morgard the Unquenchable.
I will have my vengeance.
That was it, right? Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Yeah, how exactly do you plan to have your vengeance? You're dead. Well, I mean, you're in Cold Harbor now, so I mean, technically speaking, if Moloch Ball wants you to be able to come back, you can come back, but... Oh my god, this is... Oh, we got Blood Fiends. It looks like they're dead. Get away. What the actual heck? That was way more ash than a rat warranted.
Hello? Please help me.
Minder Rosalind? Seraphine.
You're not Verlaine. My name is Seraphine. I am what you see, although I long to be free of this curse. What are you doing in this awful place?
So she's a vampire locked in a cage. So the head... So, and Verlaine is the head mender. The head mender must have been infecting people with vampire's blood. Like, I didn't already know that was the answer. I'm looking for healer Rosalind.
Roslyn? She tried to free me, but Verlaine returned and overpowered her. This is his laboratory. He experiments on me, hoping he can use my blood to heal the wounded. It's madness. I'm afraid he drugged Roslyn with my blood.
Why did Master Healer Verlaine drug Rosalind with your blood?
My blood, my strain of this curse, induces deep dreaming. When I bite someone, they later fall into a deep sleep with horrific nightmares. A concentrated dose of my blood has the same effect immediately. I hate what my hunger does.
What does that mean for Minder Rosalind?
She sleeps in the next chamber, but soon she'll awake with my curse. There's a vial of my blood in the laboratory across the hall. We can use it to create an antidote. Release me, please?
Very well. I'll open the cage and get the antidote.
Thank you. I need a moment to recover my strength. Verlaine's notes are in the laboratory if you need help with the antidote. I'll meet you at Rosalind's side. I haven't fed in a long time, and I shouldn't be alone with her.
Yeah, this sometimes happens. The vial of blood will fall through the desk. It's supposed to be right up here on top of the desk, but... Okay, an unfortunate development occurred. Rosalind discovered the laboratory. I had no choice but to sedate her with a large dose of the subject's blood. I'm simply too close to success to suspend my experiments now. While the circumstances are regrettable, Rosalind's case may provide new insights. To date, I've administered diluted doses of the subject's blood to patients in their food and drink. Symptoms appear slowly over several days, as one would expect. However, Rosalind's dosage rendered her unconscious at once. Rosalind's condition can be managed for a time, but is certain to develop into full vampirism. Fortunately, science suggests a simple antidote: an extract of harpy feathers mixed with a sample of the subject's blood, and a few other alchemical reagents. I must administer the antidote to Rosalind soon, but then what? If she reports this incident to Lord Baccaro, it could only end in panic and recrimination. Yet I can hardly allow foolish overreactions to impede my research. Not when I am so close. Darn it, dude. The end does not justify the means. You should know this by now.
Ugh, my head. Who are you? Did Seraphin send you? Who are you, stranger? And where am I? What's happened?
Master Healer Verlaine drugged you. You've been sleeping for some time. You've been sleeping for some time.
Verlaine? Surely you're joking. Why would... Wait, it's coming back to me. I was looking for harpy feathers in the forest, but a blood fiend attacked me. I fled into this cave and I found Seraphin here in a cage, but then... Oh, my head.
Verlaine captured you. He's treating patients with Seraphine's blood.
That's horrible. No wonder I noticed traces of vampirism. Yes, vampire blood can speed recovery, but it's very risky. I know Verlaine thought our methods were slow, but still. We must confront him. Together, if Seraphin's willing.
I'll talk to Seraphine.
Oh, thank you. My mind is a little foggy yet. We should head back immediately. I have to check on my patients, and perhaps add Seraphin to them. I think I can cure her if that's what she wants.
I mean, you can definitely try, but you're gonna have to appeal to Vermina. The only way for... See, the Vestige is a special case. The Vestige could be cured of vampirism through a priest of Arcade because of the unique nature of their soul. But most like mortals, the only cure for vampirism is to appeal to Vermina, which is what the guy in Skyrim actually does. Is he appeals to Vermina to get your soul back from oblivion.
I'm so glad it worked. Is she going to be all right?
Rosalind doesn't remember all of what happened, but she seems alright.
At least I finally did something good with this curse of mine. I hope she takes down that monster Verlaine and makes him pay for all this. Oh, I'm so angry I could rip his throat out. No. That's my curse, not me. I need to end this somehow.
Mendel Rosalind wants you to confront Master, wants you to confront Master Healer Verlaine with us.
Of course I'll help. Anything to bring that monster down. Even if it means allowing others to see what I am.
Meet us at Steadfast Manor.
All right. I'll make my way there. Sometimes Verlaine said that the mere sight of my eyes unnerved him. Well, he's seen nothing yet. Rosalind, right? I am so sorry about this. If I hadn't been so weak, I would have...
Everything's going to be fine. Come to the manor. Perhaps I can help you.
Help me? I'm cursed. There's nothing to be done.
There are things we can try. Let's talk on the way.
I had to do it, Rosalind. It was the only way to guarantee their recovery.
You were poisoning them, Alexis. Look around you.
Oh, I suppose you're here to fling more baseless accusations at me, too. Who are you to speak against me? What do you know of the work I do here?
I have your notes, and Seraphine told me everything.
Such smugness. You may get rid of me, but doing so will spell doom for dozens of those poor souls out there. My methods were unconventional, yes, but they would have worked.
Unconventional. You imprisoned Seraphine and drugged Rosalind.
The regrettable means to a greater end. The vampire will live forever, but those people outside won't. If one suffers so that many more can go on to lead full lives, what of it? I could have saved hundreds, no, thousands more.
But your cure would have made vampires of them all.
In time, I would have perfected it. In time, it would have been safe. Sometimes we have to make hard choices. How can you not understand that? I'm done talking. Do what you will with me, but I'll be proven right. You'll see.
Unbelievable. I guessed it was something like that, but still. Let's talk, adventurer.
Well, I want to check something real quick. Yeah, got it.
So let me make sure I've got this right.
Hold on 1 second. Nope.
So let me make sure I've got this right. Vera Lane's been dosing our patients with vampire blood as some sort of medical experiment? And he was ready to kill Rosalind to cover it up? You've got proof, right?
We have Vera Lane's notes, and Seraphine can confirm everything.
Nightmares, abductions, mad experiments. Vera Lane has much to answer for. Thank you, adventurer. We're doing good work here, and because of you, we can start again and do it right. The Society of the Steadfast is in your debt. Thanks to you, I think these soldiers may actually see their families again. And maybe they'll take the lessons of this manor and do their part in bringing the war to an end one day.
What will you do now?
My work here is just beginning. My body's been healed for some time now, I guess. But now I think something in my spirit needed to be here too, helping others. Is it strange to say I don't really want to leave?
I mean, I'm sure you won't
Alexis
have to.
Viralaine, I swear by the Society of the Steadfast, you will answer for your crimes.
The Steadfast. I thought you were willing to do what it took to end this war. Clearly, I was wrong.
There's one more thing I need to do in here. I almost forgot.
Crush the leaf and give her the juice. If she wakes up, we can tell her. It worked! She's awake! I was a little worried that she might be dead.
Surely death would be more preferable to... this. Still, I thank you for waking me. I was having the most horrific dreams. Who are you again?
I'm Reewish Left Dash, and I'm helping Rigert. What happened last night?
In the spirit of cultural bridge building, I joined Olga Nash and Rigert for dinner. A routine exchange, but Rigert ordered food and drinks all night long. Why? What's going on?
The innkeeper says that no one paid the bill.
Oh, I'm afraid I have no idea if I paid or not. I don't even remember leaving the inn. It's entirely possible that I forgot to contribute toward the bill in my condition. What in the world did I have to drink?
The healer's note said you drank rot meth, a lot of it.
Oh my goodness, that's disgusting. No wonder I got sick. I promise I'll return to the inn and settle up soon. Now, if you'll excuse me, all of a sudden, I'm not feeling so good.
You don't look so good.
A diplomatic success. Now, let us return to the inn and settle this bill. We should go back to the inn. I can't wait to see the look on Mary Settlemeter's face when 3 large diplomats come back to settle scores with her.
Okay. Out of my way, Rigert. Rigert, out of my way. No, Rigert, out of my way. Dang it, Rigert. You're gonna make me go back the other way. That's okay, I have to go back to the inn anyways. Alright, I'm gonna take my bathroom break just a little bit.
Can't take those stairs like I used to. Maybe I can work the kitchen instead.
And the fate still might So raise a toast with a mug in your hand to those we lost and ones waiting on land. Our bodies may be consigned to the
Okay, I am back, and honestly though, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the full 3 hours. I keep drifting off over my controller. Like, I'm still really tired from camp,
Right,
so
that's settled.
I'm gonna try,
You all
but
learned your lesson.
I don't.
Don't pay the bill to shady characters in a back room.
We are in agreement. I hope this means I can have my scepter back.
I admit it, I didn't expect to see you again. But your 3 friends finally came back to pay their bill. They even added a little extra for all the trouble.
Can Rigert have a scepter of office back then?
Unlike some people in this room, I remember to pay my debts when they're due. These 3 ninnies came back and paid what they owed. So here's the scepter. You should tell your friends to use more common sense in the future.
Still not sure what happened here.
Your friend Rigert happened. First, he bought the high elf Rotmeth, thinking it was a taste of home for her. After that, he tried to get a sugary dessert for the orc and mistook a skooma dealer in the back room for one of my staff.
And then what?
The skooma dealer gave Rigert something for his friend the orc, all right. Rigert decided that settled the bill. He came back and told the others he'd taken care of it. They were both far too drunk to sort it out. Ninnies, all of them.
I have one more favor to ask, friend. Could we try to keep this whole business just between us? I'm kind of new at this, you see. I was just appointed to the Covenant's delegation, and I'm worried they'll send me home if I foul it up.
Didn't you even look in the bag Rigert gave you?
I didn't even want dessert. We've been eating and drinking all night. And since we'd been talking about cakes earlier in the evening, Rigert must have thought I had a sweet tooth. I was even more surprised than the guard when he found the skooma.
Why did the guard stop you?
It wasn't my finest hour. I may have relieved myself against a building along the way. And when the guard spoke sharply to me about that, I argued back at him. You know the rest of the tale.
I am positively mortified. In all my years of diplomatic work, I have never been involved in such a scene. I would be in your debt if you could convince Rigert to never bring this up again.
Is last night coming back to you now?
Look, it's embarrassing enough without you rubbing it in. We drank far too much. Rigert bought me Rotmeth, thinking it was a taste of home and not some nasty wood elf swill. And I downed it without even looking to see what it was.
Why did you keep drinking the rock meth?
Because Rigert kept buying them. It's the first rule of diplomacy. Don't embarrass your host by refusing what they give you. But the second rule is don't make your guest drink like a wood elf pirate. Evidently, Rigert didn't know that.
Alright, and then just to talk to Rigert.
My bestest friend. Thanks to your help, I can commit diplomacy again. Everyone here will know that they have been diplomatized by Rigert the Brush. But I still have no idea how things got so out of hand. Everyone was so upset.
You honestly don't understand the cause of all this trouble?
Diplomacy is hard work. I bought special drinks for Tanilin, but they made her sick. I ordered dessert for Olganash and tried to pay for dinner. Olganash got arrested, and the innkeeper kept my scepter. Now, even more confused.
More confused. How?
I don't know what high elves like to drink, and I'm not sure why that man gave me a bag of skooma when I wanted something for my friend Ulgonash. I only wanted him to have good time. I am stumbled. Did Mariset
Stumbled.
Lemater have my scepter of office?
Here's your scepter, Rickard.
Thank you, friend. I am official large delegate again. Just think of the great diplomatic triumphs that are sure to come because you helped me. I do not have much gold left in purse, but what I have is yours. Another diplomatic success! Thank you, friends, for an unforgettable night.
It was certainly a, well, unique experience.
Agreed. It was unique. Let's all agree to never speak of it again.
Let's all agree to never speak of it again. And that's the end of that quest. So we gotten 2 quests done so far today. We finished Rickard the Brash, and we finished the Steadfast Society, the Steadfast Manners quest. So I think it's time to continue with the main quest now. Man, look at the Colossus. I can't even imagine how much effort they must have put into making that sucker. Oh yeah, by the way, in case anyone hasn't noticed this, there's this random person just standing here looking like they're getting ready to assassinate someone. But they never move from this position. They're always just right here getting ready to stab somebody, but they never do the stabbing. Kind of disappointing.
Hail.
Oh, well, that's not good. Hello, Isabel's house.
My dockhands are watching for your cargo, Lady Arabelle. They know it's precious.
There was a storm off the coast. Perhaps it delayed the ships.
Forgive me if I do the job you hired.
You don't look like a salvager. Come to join up with those so-called knights who've been hanging around, did you? Bah! I'd rather go hungry than swear myself to the likes of them.
3 ships never arrived at Glenflint Bay. Have you seen anything?
Haven't seen anything sail by in the lock recently, and no new wreckage washed up today. But I've been keeping my head down. Those robber knights have been chasing off salvagers who won't promise to help them.
Tell me about these robber knights.
They were recruiting, or at least offering the chance to earn a reward. They wanted people ready to haul in whatever came ashore. Several salvagers went with them. I wouldn't, though. What I find is mine.
Where did the knights take the other salvagers?
To a cave just down the beach. But I'd avoid it if I were you. Old Charbel nearly lost his head snooping around there. I don't know if they found what they were looking for, but I think they left a few knights behind to watch the shallows.
Yeah. Isabel has the power of Capri's Sun. Unleash the power of the sun. Contains 5% juice. Night Odrissi. Within the next few days, several ships will be damaged on the approach to High Isle. We expect wreckage to wash up in Loch Abanian, or along the northeast shore of High Isle, or the southeastern shore of Amanos. Capture any survivors from these ships and bring them to me. Muster all reliable recruits and make sure they are in place when the survivors wash ashore. Chase off any salvagers who refuse to assist us. Your new recruits may hesitate to lay hands on shipwreck survivors. Remind them that their reward is a place in the Ascendant Order. As Knights of the People, they will never go hungry again. The Ascendant Magus. Talk to Lady Arabelle. Alright, we're returning to Lady Arabelle. Wow, that's actually pretty nice. Huh, no idea.
Good. You found my field office. I thought I'd keep an eye on the lock while awaiting your report. My own investigations have turned up little about our missing ships. Tell me, did you uncover anything useful? Did the lighthouse keepers spot them?
After rogue knights darkened the beacon, the keeper spotted 3 ships before the storm rolled in.
Darkened the beacon? The locals revere that light. Who would dare offend Kinrith in such a way? Something is indeed wrong here. At least our missing ships reached these waters, but this storm worries me. Tell me more about the Rogue Knights.
It's the Ascendant Order. The inn's patrons said they've been robbing people and attacking caravans.
The Ascendant Order? Oh, of course. I thought the rumors about Rogue Knights troubling folk outside of town had a familiar ring. But I'd hoped we'd seen the last of the Order at Sword's Rest. Tell me, did you learn anything at the Shallows?
Hey Joe, welcome to the stream. We're just talking to Lady Arabelle about the mission, so we'll go over what you missed in just a second. Someone called the Ascendant Magus recruited salvagers to recapture shipwreck survivors.
It seems the Ascendant Order knew the ships would be wrecked, and they helped make sure by extinguishing the lighthouse beacon. They knew my cargo was coming to High Isle. This means the Fighters Guild and Mages Guild delegates are in danger too.
Wait, what does your missing cargo have to do with the delegates?
Ah, you caught that, did you? My missing cargo is more delegates for the conference. Perhaps the most important ones. But I need you to check on the guild delegates right now. They went to visit a druid named Ravana. Her hut lies to the west.
Tell me about the guild representatives.
Valencia, you know, she created the invitation medallions. As for Guild General Quentin, I only met him when he arrived. Seems to have a good head on his shoulders, but the war has cost him dearly. He lost his wife in a raid.
Why is the Ascendant Order here?
To disrupt the peace talks? It would be a grand stage for the Ascendant Order's message. Or they might plan to strike at the delegations. Influential voices from all three alliances will be here soon. A tempting target.
Who is this Ascendant Magus?
The Ascendant Champion Superior. When we defeated the champion at Sword's Rest Isle, we only defeated one of the Order's leaders. I've heard whispers about an Ascendant Lord, too. I can't imagine there are too many more of them after that.
Who is this druid the guild representative went to visit?
Her name is Ravana. She's something of a local apothecary. She uses her skill with herbs and healing to help the folk of High Isle. With the conference delayed, Valencia was curious about druidic magic, so off she went. Quentin decided to tag along.
Alright, I guess I will go check into that. But first, there's another quest I want to do since Joe is here. There's an H for a reason. No, it's herb. The H is silent. Well, this isn't what I intended to do. Oops. Oh well. They actually fixed her! Look, they actually fixed her. She has a chest. For the longest time, she would just had, like, the chest piece of this outfit was completely invisible. Now you can actually see her chest. Hello, Druid.
Greetings, traveler. Is there something I can do for you? Do you need a poultice or perhaps an herbal tea?
Herbal tea. Not herbal. Herbal. I'm looking for Guild Magister Velisa and Guild General Quentin.
Ah, yes. The curious mage and the stern warrior. They stopped by. When I mentioned that rogue knights had been making the countryside dangerous, they decided to investigate. I told them where I'd last seen the knights, and they set out at once.
Look, Joe, I'm gonna post something. This is the reason why we always have this argument.
A clearing to the southwest. I'll mark the spot on your map. I saw a band of the knights gathering there the last time I went out to gather herbs. They forced me to retreat without them. I warned Valencia and Quentin it might be dangerous.
Are druids common on High Isle?
Oh, you'll find druids throughout the Sisters Archipelago. Not too many on the mainland, though. Long ago, we druids left Tamriel and its troubles behind us. But here, our ancient ways survived.
Why did the druids leave the mainland?
Our forebears among the Bretons believed civilization should live alongside nature, not tame it. In the early years of the Direni hegemony, they struggled for the soul of High Rock.
What happened?
They lost. Driven into exile, the druids left to seek a place where they could live according to their beliefs. Their wanderings brought them to the Sisters. The followers of the Weird remained behind. They walked a different path than the druids.
What exactly is a druid?
We follow the old ways. Some call us priests of Ifre, but that is only part of our truth. We are children of the land, like the Weird. Guides and teachers to those who live in harmony with nature. People were not meant to bow before crowns of metal.
Are you some kind of Weirus?
No, friend. We know the Weird, and we respect their beliefs. Druids and Weirises are two branches that grow from the same tree. But we are called to be in this world, not to withdraw from it. Some circles see it differently, of course.
Circles? What are they?
Circles are fellowships of like-minded druids. Each interprets Ifre's will differently, but druids of the same circle share common traditions and goals. I belong to the Stonelore Circle. We seek to teach others by the example of our work.
Are there other circles in the Citrus Archipelago?
Yes. Travel far enough in the archipelago and you may meet druids of the Eldertide or Firesong circles. Although the Firesong rarely leave their island, and you should be wary of the Eldertide. They do not like city folk or mainlanders.
Yeah, so right there I believe is a hint to what's coming in the November update. I believe we are going to be going to another island in the archipelago and dealing with another clan of druids that's helping the Ascendant Lord. So the flowers do not point at the sun. That is disappointing.
Over here. I could use some help. Ah, my friend. How glad I am to see you again. This island is far more dangerous than I expected, especially after what just happened.
Tell me what happened.
Guild General Quentin accompanied me to visit Druid Ravana. When she told us about rogue knights in the area, Quentin was eager to investigate. It was the Ascendant Order. They overpowered Quentin and knocked me senseless. They captured Quentin.
Was Guild General Quentin injured?
I don't think so. The Ascendant Order was definitely trying to take us alive. That's the only reason I had the opportunity to throw up a shroud spell and avoid being captured myself. Did you come out here to find us?
Lady Arabelle sent me to warn you the Ascendant Order was targeting conference delegates.
And Ravana told you where to find us. Good. Now, we must rescue Quentin. I may have a way to find where the Ascendant Order took him, but we should get to safety first. Meet me back at Druid Ravana's hut.
Do you think the Ascendant Order followed you out here?
No. We came upon them just as they were finishing an attack on a caravan. But I assume they recognized us or decided our station warranted capture rather than elimination. But you came with a warning, didn't you? What did you find out?
The Ascendant Order sabotaged the lighthouse. We think they may have wrecked Lady Arabelle's ships.
Wrecked the ships? How in oblivion could they coordinate such a thing? Clearly, the Ascendant Order is aware of the plans for Lord Baccaro's conference. They're here in force and causing more trouble than we anticipated.
Any idea why they want to capture you instead of just kill you?
If they recognized us as delegates, there's all sorts of ways they could hold that over the conference. If they just assume we're rich nobles, ransom is always an option. but who can really say what those helmeted bastards are thinking?
What have you been up to since we last met?
I've remained at Lady Arabelle's side since we delivered the invitation medallions to the delegates. I hope to help make sure their journey to High Isle proceeded smoothly. It seems the Ascendant Order is not so easily avoided.
Where were you and Guild General Quentin doing out here?
I came to talk to Ravana about arcane and related topics, and Quentin decided to tag along. When Ravana told us about rogue knights, I feared it might be the Ascendant Order. Quentin wanted to investigate. Turned out I was right.
Do you think the Ascendant Order followed? Oh, I already asked that question. Okay. Let's go get a passion flower. All right.
I understand, Valencia. Do what you must to find your friend.
I owe you a debt of gratitude for coming to my aid. It seems once again that Lady Arabelle chose well. Now to see if I can find Guild General Quentin, and by extension, the rogue knights who carried him away.
How can you track the Guild General?
Do you recall the invitation medallions I enchanted? Each delegate carries one, so I can trace my own magic to locate Quentin. Now let me see. They moved northeast, across the lock. I see an abandoned chapel. Crypts. No question, Quentin is there.
If all of the delegates have a medallion, can you use them to find the missing ships?
Lady Arabelle asked me to try as soon as we realized the ships were late. I wasn't able to make a connection with those medallions. Maybe they were too far away, or some other magic interfered with my scrying, but I wasn't able to detect anything.
Should we head directly to the abandoned crypts you saw?
No, we need to return to Lady Arabelle and share this information. Then we can mount a rescue for Guild General Quentin. I'll meet you at Lady Arabelle's little pavilion. What she calls her field office, I believe.
I'll meet you there. Yeah, this is quite a long quest, actually. Like, this is probably the longest quest in the entire chapter, I believe.
That sounds like a Bane chapel, but only one medallion is there. Valencia apprised me of the situation. I believe I know the place where she thinks they're holding Quentin. It must be the crypts below a Bane chapel on the northern shore of the loch. Will you accompany us on this rescue mission, my dear?
I'll help you rescue Guild General Quentin.
Smashing. This will be like that time I pulled General Gautier out of a Reach stronghold during the border raids of 566. Now that was an adventure. Anyway, it's too bad Valencia couldn't scry the locations of the other missing delegates.
Mind if I ask you about the delegates that were aboard the missing ships?
I suppose you've earned the truth, and you certainly deserve my complete confidence. The 3 ships carried High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and Prince Ernskar, son of Yoren the Skald King. I dare say I've misplaced the leaders of Tamriel.
You lost High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and Prince Issachar, son of Jordan the Skull King. Oh, this is a debacle. The Alliance leaders decided to attend the peace talks to themselves.
I warned them of the danger, and we took such elaborate precautions. Obviously, they weren't enough. If we find Quentin with the Ascendant Order, we may find our missing royals. Let's meet at the chapel north of the lock and see what awaits us.
I'll meet you there.
We'll rendezvous at a Bane chapel on the north side of the lock. I've already sent an operative ahead to scout the area. Be prepared to defend yourself. The Ascendant Order won't give up Guild General Quentin without a fight.
What if this is a trap?
Whatever the situation, I won't abandon Quentin to his fate. Oh, that's good. Let me write that down. Besides, we have to risk it. Both to save Quentin and to see if we can learn anything about the missing Alliance leaders.
Okay, you think the Alliance leaders might also be there?
We know their medallions aren't there, but they could have lost them at sea. Regardless, if the Ascendant Order uses the chapel as a hideout, we may learn something about their plans. Or a clue as to where to search for the Alliance leaders, perhaps.
Okay, tell me more about the hike. I guess we have to do this.
Not a student of politics, my dear. I understand completely. They're the leaders of the Alliances vying for the Ruby Throne. Well, Irene and Emmerich lead two of the Alliances. Ernskar is the son of Yoren the Skald King, who leads the third.
What alliances?
You poor dear. You must pay more attention to current events. Queen Irene leads the Aldmeri Dominion, High King Emmerich the Daggerfall Covenant, and Prince Ernskar represents the Ebonheart Pact, the opponents in the aptly named Three Banners War.
What are they fighting about?
It's complicated. The Ruby Throne sits vacant, and the Tamrielic Empire lacks an emperor. None of the alliances can stomach the idea that one of the others might win the throne. It's a wonder Bakaro and I got them to agree to these peace talks.
What if this is a trap?
Whatever the situation, I
oh,
won't
we already
abandon...
got that. Okay. I'm gonna take my horse to the Old Town Road. I'm gonna drive till I can't no more. Except I'm not riding a horse, I'm riding on a deer. Actually, it's an elk, but whatever, it's the same thing, really. Oh, there's the flesh flies. Alright.
There. It's open. Got any more locks you need picked? How about you?
Yeah, I just did it again. I just totally drifted off there for a second.
I can't pinpoint the exact location of Quentin's medallion. He could be anywhere in here.
I'll scout ahead. Maybe someone should watch the door in case anyone follows us.
I'll keep watch. Be careful.
Aw, I knew you cared.
Quentin is our priority. But keep your eyes open. Who knows what the Ascendant Order left lying about? Ascendant Order propaganda. Don't be taken in. They are not as benevolent as they want you to think. No sign of Quentin yet, though. We should keep going.
Ugh, that's what I mean about keep passing out. As per the Ascendant Magus' instructions and accounting of the prisoners currently in our custody, Colleen, captain of the Spearhead, Tsuyo, captain of the Kamal's Bane, Zaji, captain of the Perfect Pounce, Guild General Quentin, Fighters Guild delegate. Orders: question the captains about what hap befell their passengers when they were wrecked. They'll likely know when Irene, Emmerich, and Issachar abandoned ships. The crypt south of the large burial chamber should provide suitable as a temporary prison. Keep the captains alive until we are sure they are of no more use. Execute any other captives. If they cannot tell us where the delegates are, they are only security risk.
The Ascendant Order has the captains of our missing ships. But where are the Alliance leaders? First things first, clear the path to the South Crypts, please. We must rescue the captains and hope that Quentin is with them.
Lady Arabelle.
Colleen, Zaji, Zuzo. Thank the Divines are all right. But where are the delegates?
Apologies, my lady. We lost our charges.
Zaji, it's not all right.
Not to spoil the reunion, but we're about to get company.
Jakarn, free the captains. Friend, keep the Ascendant Order at bay. Buy us some time.
Stupid thing won't... Wait, got it!
Collect Valencia and get the captains to safety, Jakarn. We'll find Quentin.
The Knights took Quentin away not long ago. I think they're questioning him now.
Then we must hurry. Come, my friend.
I'm seriously considering after the stream just getting my blanket out, laying on the couch, putting on a movie, and just letting myself nap as long as my body wants to. I mean, it'll probably make it hard to sleep tonight, but Like, I honestly feel like I need I mean, I have tomorrow to rest too before work, so like, if I have to get more sleep today and stay up a little bit later tonight to make up for it, I can. So.
A new age of peace is upon us. An age of free peoples, standing together, not kneeling to distant thrones.
This is not your war, General. What say you?
The war took everything from me. I am with you. How can I help?
The Order is trying to recruit Quentin? We have to put a stop to this.
It's already too late. He's already pledged himself to them. He could.
Each delegate carries a medallion like this one, Magus. It serves as both an invitation and a key.
Keep it. We may need your access later. Right now, I want you to kill the meddling investigator nipping at our heels.
Lady Arabelle? But she's...
No longer working alone. She's found some capable help. Deal with them.
Oh, Quentin. I guess you've made your choice.
Yeah, he gave away an important piece of information to the enemy. Although honestly, with who I suspect is the Ascendant Lord, I don't think that was a. I think they probably already knew about the medallions being keys.
Here is your chance, Quentin. Stop these fools and strike a blow for the people.
I'm sorry, Lady Arabelle, but I have made my choice.
For the Ascendant Order! We can't allow the General to stop us. I'm sorry it came to that, but well thought, my friend. Let's speak outside.
In the name of the Fighters Guild, I sentenced you to execution. I shall tell Merrick of what happened here this day. I will tell him that you were a traitor, General.
I didn't expect Guild General Quentin to turn on us, and I certainly didn't desire his death. It seems sympathy for the Ascendant Order is more widespread than I knew. We must be cautious, particularly with whom we choose to trust going forward.
You think some of the others may turn on us?
Do I expect it? No. But that doesn't mean we should let our guard down. This venture wasn't a complete failure, though. We rescued the captains of our missing ships. We need to find out what happened at sea and what befell the Alliance leaders.
Where did Jakarn and Valencia take the captains?
To Mandrake Manor, my home in Gonfalon Bay. I'll mark it on your map. Jakarn, Valencia, and I have been using my townhouse as a base of operations. I'm confident that it is as safe from the Ascended Order as any other location we might choose.
Why is it called Mandrake Manor?
Oh, the name comes from a book I'm rather fond of. I bought the manor to serve as my home in retirement, and I keep a few mementos of my career there. Meet me there, my dear, And we'll see what our rescued captains have to say about all this.
I'll meet you in Gonfalon Bay. Return to Gonfalon Bay.
There you are. Go inside and talk to Captain Colleen. Find out what happened at sea. I need a moment to collect my thoughts.
Looking out the Colossus of Gonfalon Bay.
Go on inside, my dear. Talk to Captain Colleen and get her to tell you what happened to her ship and the ships of the other captains. I need time to review what else we discovered. Then we can start putting the pieces of this puzzle together.
Yeah, you're right. I do tend to feel worse after a nap, but I don't know what else I can do. Like, I'll go back to work Tuesday. If I'm not fully rested by Tuesday, I'm in trouble, so. By the way, so, there's a book here. It's called Investigator Vale and the Curse of Mandrake Manor. Apparently I didn't have this one before. I mean, I can try, but I'm definitely not... I definitely don't know if I'm up to trying to play a game right now. But let's just walk around and show all the different... Okay, look, all the different Investigator Vale books. It's like... I think there's only one Investigator Vale book that's missing that you can get in the game. Like, from her collection. We'll see. I'm not gonna, like, I've already almost drifted off over, like, playing a game 3 times. So I can't really promise anything right this minute. Like, my hands and mind are occupied, and I'm still falling asleep.
Zaji is glad to see you, Walker. But there will be no reunion with the Perfect Pounce. She is gone. This time for good. The terrible storm was the end of her. And that is not the worst of it. Zaji has lost Queen Irene and Casca too.
Can you tell me what happened out at sea?
Zaji must admit he was sleeping in his cabin when the storm hit. He woke up when cold water climbed into bed with him. The next thing Zaji knows, he is being fished out of the sea by strange knights. I'm saved, Zaji thinks. Then they tied me up.
You were fished out of the water by the Ascended Order?
The annoying knights, yes. Zaji heard the commander talking. The Lord, they called him. He was angry the Alliance leaders did not wash ashore with Zaji. Zaji did not see the Lord's face, but he spoke like a Breton noble. Zaji could hear it.
So, we suspect that the Alliance Lord is a Breton noble. Somebody mark that down somewhere so we have it for our evidence log. What about Queen Irene?
Zaji lost Queen Irene and first mate Casca too. The wind and the waves must have carried them somewhere else. The Lord and the Magus, the Order's leaders, they swore to comb every beach until they found her. And the others too, Zaji supposes.
Okay, Colleen next.
Funny. First time we met, you were the one fished out of the water. Now look at us. I owe you a great debt. And I owe Dockmaster Arnauld a debt of a different kind. I visit High Isle often, and I thought he was a friend. Bah.
Can you tell me what happened out at sea and how you wound up in the crypts?
An armored mage and a gang of ruffians were waiting at the shallows. They clubbed down all who made it ashore. Dockmaster Arnauld showed up, and I thought we were saved. But the mage, a Brent noble by his voice, paid him to walk away and leave.
So, the mage is also a Breton noble. And a male. So, Breton noble and a male is added to our evidence log for the Ascendant Mage. Or at least, my mental evidence log. Back up, what happened before you washed ashore?
We were nearing landfall when a huge storm swept out of nowhere. I looked for the light at Gonfalon Head, but the lighthouse was dark. We were blown off course, crashed upon some rocks. I lost sight of High King Emmerich, but somehow made it to shore.
Do you know where High King Emmerich and the other leaders are now?
I'm not sure. I didn't see any of the royals when I waded ashore, and I was the last one from my ship to make it to the beach. The tide turned as I swam in, and no one was washed up after me. I'm afraid you won't find the High King at the shallows.
If there is any way I can help with your investigation, I am at your disposal. I want to find Prince Ernskar as much as Lady Arabelle. More, even.
Do you remember what happened out at sea?
I remember it like the ripples in my favorite pond. A storm blew up without warning. My ship was driven onto the rocks near Aminos and broke apart. All were cast into the sea. When we reached shore, those rogue knights grabbed us.
What happened to Prince Issachar?
I did not see what became of him. He might have been trapped in the part of the ship that was swept away. Or maybe the currents carried him to a different part of the shore. Or he might have drowned. I know that many of my crew did.
Can we question how Argonians drown when they can literally breathe underwater, but maybe he didn't have an Argonian crew.
Over here, dear. We have much to do. I adore this view. Isn't the Colossus a wondrous sight? Still, gazing upon it does nothing to quell my anxiety. Somehow the Ascendant Order learned not only about our secret peace talks, but that the Alliance leaders were going to attend.
At least they don't have High King Emmerich, Queen Ayrenn, or Prince Issachar yet.
And neither do we. We're not even sure they're still alive, but we must hope. Your help has been invaluable thus far, my dear, and you've earned every piece of gold in this pouch. We'll find the Alliance leaders and unmask the Order. We have to. Just as the Colossus watches over Gonfalon Bay, I was supposed to keep the Alliance leaders safe. I failed in that, but at least they aren't in the Ascendant Order's hands. Not yet, anyway. What did Captain Colleen and the others have to say, dear?
The captains believe that the Order's leaders are Breton nobles, and that the delegates didn't wash ashore.
Breton nobles? Yes. We heard that as well when the Ascendant Lord and the Magus were speaking in the crypts. That's something to go on. And if the Alliance leaders didn't end up in the shallows, we'll need to look elsewhere. What else, dear?
Captain Colleen saw the Dockmaster accept gold from the Magus when they captured her.
Well, that's a lead we can investigate. I'd like to have a chat with Dockmaster Arnauld about that and a great many other things. I detest being lied to, and he did it with such conviction. You're still on retainer, dear. Would you care to join me?
I'll help you interrogate Dockmaster Arnold.
The Dockmaster's home overlooks the harbor to the west. Jakan and I will meet you there. First Quentin, now this. I hardly know who to trust. Times like these, I take a moment to contemplate the Colossus in the harbor. It helps clear my thoughts.
Tell me more about the Colossus in the harbor.
That's one of the wonders of the archipelago, dear. The locals are very proud of their statue, even if few of them know the real story behind who it represents. I like it as well. One of the reasons I bought the manor. Such a spectacular view.
Who does it represent?
The Colossus of Gonfalon Bay is Baron Admiral Bendu Olo, though most on the mainland would know him as the Colovian King of Anvil. He formed the All Flags Navy around 2260 in the First Era to gain vengeance against the Slode for the Thracian Plague.
The All Flags Navy?
The largest allied naval force in Tamrielic history. Ships from every nation and province participated, and many of the vessels were built right here on High Isle. The fleet launched from here and rained destruction upon Thras for their treachery.
What does that have to do with finding the missing Alliance leaders?
Nothing, my dear, but you asked. Lord Bakara selected High Isle for the peace talks because of that history, though. The All Flags Navy recalls a time when disparate people united in common cause. He hopes to inspire the delegates to do the same.
Alright, I'm actually going to go ahead and end off here for today. I'm sorry, I'm just too tired to continue. We'll pick up next week and we'll go for the full 3 hours and we'll try to get a lot more progress in. We did finish one more location today and we completed the first main quest. So we made a little bit of progress, but not much. Anyways, I'll see you guys next week as we continue more of the Elder Scrolls Online Reewish, the Mighty Battle Lizard. Thank you very much and have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.